Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Waddell here at Mariemont High School, and we are talking girls lacrosse with the head coach, Kevin Ferry, for the girls lacrosse team. And, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the girls this far. 6-2, 2-0 in the conference. Tell me a little bit about how things are going thus far.
We're off to a good start. It's tough to follow up the kind of year we had last year.
Yeah, I guess so.
But, once the season starts, no matter how good or bad your last season was, you're kind of back to ground zero. So,
sure.
You wipe the slate clean and you kind of reinvent yourself. And you've got new personnel. It's not like we're a professional franchise where we bring everybody back except for our free agents. You have your graduating class move on, and so you kind of reinvent yourself. And it's been a good beginning of the year. We've had a lot of young kids step up and take some of those roles over. Lacrosse
is such a great and interesting sport. I've got a daughter who's in 7th grade right now. She's just picking up the stick about a year ago. I fell in love with the sport a couple of years ago. I'm a hockey guy. I follow a lot of hockey, but lacrosse is one of those sports. Man, it is such an addicting sport. The difference between boys and girls, I'm kind of still learning it a little bit, but I mean, the girls, they still fly around, they fling the ball around. I mean, that thing's coming in hard.
So. Yeah, and I think one of the appeals is you have so much constant movement.
Yes.
There's no soft spot on the field. There's no quiet part of the game. Everybody's involved when you're on the field. And the girls' side, the frequent comment is that the women's game has more finesse. Whereas the men's game has a little bit more power. There's a lot of whistles and stoppages that take a little explaining when you first come to the game.
And it did.
but yeah, it's ever since I started my senior year at Moeller, I fell in love with it, and I've never kind of gotten away from it. My first love was actually baseball, but lacrosse came along, and I loved lacrosse.
And I think that's going to continue to be a trend too, with boys and girls for baseball and softball down the road. I was a baseball guy growing up as well, but I mean, I wish that there would have been more lacrosse opportunities. I'm a little
and I wish I'd gotten to play hockey. So we're
I can't skate. I like to watch it. I just can't skate. So tell me about it. How long did you get to enjoy the state championship from last year? I mean, what a run that was. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun, and the way it happened was fun. The girls showed a lot of grit and the ability to work through difficult situations. We were down 5 goals at the end of the Indian Hill game and came back. We were down 3 goals at the end of the DeSales game and came back. So there was a lot of clawing back into games, and it made it a lot even more exciting than the state championship normally is. But that you bask in that glow the whole off season. Yeah. There are a number of events that kind of let you enjoy that. But then once the season starts, back to the beginning.
So what about the returners? So how many of those that were on the state championship team are back this year?
We lost some great players. But that said, we actually did have a lot of kids return. Of our 12 starters, I think we returned 8.
Wow.
So more than half the team did come back. We were very young with great leadership, with great experienced leadership last year. So all of those young kids got the benefit of playing with these fantastically talented older athletes, and I think that really left a strong mark on those kids. And now this year, you're starting to see that come out as they start to grow.
6-2 in the season thus far. So tell me about more so growing from the losses. What about the 2 losses on the schedule?
So for the last 2 years, we've. Start over?
I'll pick up at that spot again.
Okay.
We'll just pick up on that question.
Sure. So the last 2 years, we've scheduled a Columbus trip. And, since lacrosse is a burgeoning sport, it doesn't have the depth that some of the other sports have. And while there's a lot of local talent, it's nice to get out of the area and play some teams from Columbus that's a little bit further along and more experienced than Cincinnati area is. So this year we picked up with Columbus Academy and DeSales. DeSales we met in the state semifinals last year. They were number 1 ranked last year when we eliminated them, and they're number 1 ranked again this year. So we like to test ourselves against that level of opponent, so we have a good bearing on, okay, early in the season, where actually are we, when we play the best teams in the state. And that way we can find out where our weaknesses are, the things we need to address with a good half of the season left to address them.
I think that's a good idea. And again, hopefully the girls learn in from that too. You can learn from winning, but if you're winning 20-4 or something along those lines, there's not as much learning as there is when you lose maybe 10-8 or close games like that. So
right, and it makes a fun team bonding experience. No one really likes to go up and lose 2 games, but you've got the bus ride up there. You've got pizza at Tommy's Pizza the night before the second game, the overnight stay in the hotel. So it's a great experience, I think, for everybody. And like I said, when you come back, you have a genuine feel for where are we and what do we need to do.
And where to work on and moving forward. So let's move forward. Rest of the year, what's still on the schedule? What's still to come?
Still got some tough matchups. We've got Sycamore tonight. Sycamore has been the perennial powerhouse of the Cincinnati area. They've got 3 Division I state championships. They're coached by Eddie Clark, who is the most experienced coach in the area and really knows the game exceptionally well. So that's always good for us to see what it's like to go up against a seasoned team with a really experienced leadership crew. And then we've got Summit next week, and Summit's having a great year. They've got, I think, one of the strongest kids in the area, Sydney Black, and we'll likely see them late in the tournament as we get closer to the regional finals. So we've got some tough games coming up just before the tournament, and then we jump into the tournament in May.
And it's going to come quick. So
before you know it.
Well, the process, trust it all the way through. So, Coach, good luck the rest of the way, and then hopefully it's another nice deep run, and hopefully you get back up to, what's the school up there in Columbus? It is Wesleyan, yeah, Ohio Wesleyan, exactly. That's where we need to be again come late May. So, Coach Kevin Ferry with Girls Lacrosse, best of luck the rest of the way. I'm Greg Waddell from Mariemont Sports.com.